loud. We have voices. We won't be silent.
Who controls my voice? Nobody.
Fox News Channel. Real news, real honest opinion.
Murphy's Builder Supply is where you need to go for all your home improvement projects and hardware needs. They've been serving folks in this area since 1946. Murphy's offers some products and services that you may not know about. They now sell ammunition, both bullets and shells. Murphy's also sells personalized tags for dog collars. They build customized screens for windows and doors. Murphy's can rekey locks, and of course they can make keys. They cut glass for windows, plus Murphy's has monthly doorbuster specials. Check their Facebook page to see what's on sale. Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Andrew Cuneo here. It's summertime in South Georgia, and the only thing hotter than being outside is the hot deals at Mike Birch Ford. With up to $12,000 off new F-150s, there's no better time than now to purchase the truck for your dreams. So stop the search and call Mike Birch Ford today. Andrew Cuneo here. It's summertime in South Georgia, and the only thing hotter than being outside is the hot deals at Mike Birch Ford. With up to $12,000 off new F-150s, there's no better time than now to purchase the truck for your dreams. So stop the search and call Mike Birch Ford today.
Good morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch Hubbard here with you along. Bob Morgan. It's Football Friday. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on. But right now, it is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear and by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
You ready for an exciting football game tonight?
It's going to be a big test.
Yes, sir. JC Stadium.
Beat Rocky coming in. Haven't beat him yet. He's been there 4 years. He's 4-0 against Wayne. So, I mean, it's tough to beat him. Got that triple option offense, a lot of talent. Ranked 6 and 6A, so it'll be a big test for Wayne County tonight.
Okay, well, big game tonight between Wayne County and Little Academy at JC Stadium. Let's get out there and pack the stadium and support the Jackets. As we continue on now with guests on our world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Bob, tell us who we have today.
Got one of the longest-serving commissioners with us, second longest-serving, as mentioned on the news. Jerry Shagwright's the longest-serving commissioner in Wayne County, but Boot's right behind him. But Boot, how long you been serving county commissioner? How many years have you been on the board?
I was first elected in 92, so 26 years.
26 years.
Time.
Yeah. Boot Thomas.
So he's the incoming in District 4. Glad you came in. Like I said, we've had the 4 writing candidates, and that's the big story. You know, the county commissioners voted to raise the millage 5 mills at the 3 public hearings before that. After that, it's been outrage. A lot of mad people, a lot of upset people. Never seen writing candidates before. We got 4 of the 5 districts with writing candidates. So, first of all, did you expect that type of reaction when you voted yes on the 5 mil increase?
Really, no. But then I've been in this a long time. You never know what to expect, so you never know how people are going to react. But you know, we did what we had to do with the information we was given and the numbers. So that's why I did it. I mean, there's no other reason.
That's why it's 5 mils, because there's still, to me, there's some suspicion, or not suspicion, but there's a cloud over the 5 mils. The fact that with the auditor having to be forced to write the 5 mil requirement, you know, the auditor saying he was threatened. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, I can't get my head around the fact that that story is Herschel. I talked to Herschel. Herschel said, look, he said his recommendation was to go talk to the auditor, see if you can get him to write a letter saying that, you know, we need a 5 mil increase. I mean, it wasn't the threatening, but when he was asked in the meeting if he was threatened, he said yes, he was threatened. So that's what bothers me. If he's threatened to have a 5 mil increase, do we really need the 5 mil increase? I
don't know what transpired with that. I know that we looked over everything and the numbers we were given at the advice of our administrator, and of course I think we did consult them at one time earlier. And sure, you could probably do 3 mills, but we figured that 5 mills would do what we want to do. 2 years, then we'll be able to cut back. You want to go with 3 mills, it's going to take 4 or 5 years. That's going to cost you more money because there's no interest. So we figured that would be the best way to go, is let's go ahead and do it. And after a couple of years, we start cutting back and get everything in line.
Yeah, and it's been mentioned by the administrator that the 5 mills is just the beginning. That's not the fix at all. I mean, that's just to get us to the start. So the question people keep asking, what is the plan to correct the financial situation? You know, Ralph threw out his 180 plan. That's been talked about, but hasn't been really accepted by the board as a whole. It says he has a plan. What is the plan? How do we get out of the financial situation? The $5 million increase is just the beginning. So where do we go from there? Are they going to be? They talked about a meeting. Herschel asked that y'all come together. Haven't heard anything about that meting. Apparently, that's not taking place. When's that going to take place?
We're going. As soon as everybody can get together. Herschel is out of town. And I think that some other commissioners are going to be going out of the country pretty soon. So we're going to wait till everybody get together so we all can have input in the plan. As I said earlier, and I continue to say that when we had our retreat, after all the information was presented to us, at that point and until that point, we had no idea how bad it was. And after that, then the next day, he started sort of going over how we're going to attack that plan. So there is a plan.
And that's the question people ask, how do we not know? I mean, you've been there 26 years, Shaq's been there forever. How did y'all not know it was this bad? How did it get this bad, like, overnight? Because that's the thing that people are upset about. It's like they got hit with this $5 million increase overnight. They're like, well, how did you not know it was this bad?
We knew that things were going down. And like you say, how did we get here? Well, we didn't get here overnight. And it started back, I can go as far as back in 2004, when we were ordered by the state to reappraise all the properties, which, according to them, and this is quote, having obtained a degree of uniformity and equivalent evaluations, it is required that we fail to correct and subsequently the same deficiency that occurred in the digest proceeding of 2002. So then we didn't correct that for sort of reasons, so that then they ordered us to have to reappraise all properties, and then we were fined. They fined the government authority. We was fined $75,600, a penalty of $5 per taxable parcel. That cost us $450,000.
Back in 2004.
Right, and when we did that, we did the appraisal in 2008, so it cost us that kind of money. There's other things that we've done that cost us to be here, and of course that is the order from the state right there that I have. You can see, you can look at it, and so we lost legal fees. As you know, we've been in legal fees lawsuits with timber companies, Rainier, whatever, and that takes a toll. And as I said in the meeting, from 2012 until 2017, we paid out $846,872.62 in legal fees, and that's something we've been trying to get away from, as having a lot of legal fees. So, matter of fact, that amount is worth more than the highest mill rate that we've had in recent years. So that was more than $1 million.
Okay, we've got Wayne County Commissioner James Booth Thomas in the studio with us this morning.
And once again, people, let's talk about the lawsuit. You and Shaq were there from the get-go. Never heard say, we don't need to be fighting with Rainier. We need to get out of this lawsuit. Right. We don't need to go to court. Y'all was like, hey, we're going to go to court. I mean, y'all had to back. I mean, that decision had to be made by the board. So, in retrospect, was that a mistake?
Well,
why did anybody, I remember having a conversation with you. I said, look, you don't need to be fighting with Rainier. Get those attorneys out of the room. Go to Rainier and say, look, y'all say it's this. If we say it's this, let's be halfway. Let's do something.
We did make some changes, and we did, try to get out of that as far as having lawsuits.
But nobody ever said, let's get out of it.
Well, we did.
Who did?
Majority of the board, and then it stopped. Or as far as we could. Because, see, some of that stuff is ongoing. We got lawsuits now with some of those companies that's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Now individuals. The Board of Education mentioned that last night. Everybody, they said, look, they're going to get hit again because there's still lawsuits out there pending.
Right.
This is just like a snowball effect.
Well, we're trying to, cut those things down and negotiate and get those things behind us so that we won't get into that anymore. So.
What about the tax anticipation note that went from y'all did a good job trying to lower that $500,000 each year, and got it all the way down to $4 million, and this year, boom, it's back up to 6.7, which is more than what it was when you started.
Well, here you go, Bob. The legal fees is one, motor fuel tax, or the vehicle tax, I say. Between 2012 and 2017, we collected $7,262.31 between 2012 and 17 of ad valorem vehicle tax to tax. Now, tags are $20. We send 19 to Atlanta. We keep 1. You do the math. Along with that, we've had, not to mention, we've had 3 auto dealers leave, and most recently, Kmart. I can show you where in 2016, 1 mil was $801,826. In 2017, 1 mil was $772,221. This year, 1 mil is $716,448. That's 1 mil. It has been going down every year because of different things and because of unfunded mandates. And it's just not one particular thing, Bob.
I understand that, but the question again, you made the statement the other night that, and I mentioned this on the show a couple weeks ago, the commissioner acts like it's like a badge of honor. I said they need to be quiet. You say the statement is, we knew the digest was going down for 10 years. We knew expenses were going up, but yet we kept the millage the same. Well, why? You mentioned the other night, you have to raise the millage, raise the millage. Did you ever vote one time when you were on the board to raise the millage?
Well, here again, too, some of the things that we knew and some things we didn't. One thing is that we have to have a consistency when it comes to our office. We've changed county administrators several times. We need to have, if we're going to have one, we need to keep it for a while so we can get some consistency and they can advise us on things and we know what's going on. We got to be careful about trying to micromanage. When you try to micromanage, you split the board, and I guess the person who you're trying to micromanage is confused. They're going to do whatever they can to keep everybody happy, and sometimes that's not the right thing to do. So I'll leave that alone.
Well, this board has stated time and time again that the retreat is where they find out all this information, that they just laid everything out and said, here's where we stand. So my question goes back to the other previous administrators. Did they keep y'all in the dark? They just didn't tell you how bad the situation was, or how did we find out just overnight that we're in this bad situation?
Well, the other administrators said that before he left that we was going to have to raise, but it didn't give us an idea how much. And here again, I don't know what transpired with that, but we went on that advice. I know he was a good administrator. He's retired. We brought him retirement. He said he would help us out until he could train somebody. But he was a master at making sure that he could pay things from one to the other. Rob Peter to pay Paul, if you will. But no, I had no idea it was like that. But then again, too, when you have somebody, you got to let them do the job. And of course, their job is to give you advice. As commissioners, we take that advice. We don't have to use it, but then it's our job to make a decision on it. But then at least you need to let the administrator or whoever it is feel that they can give you that advice, and we act on it and not micromanage it.
You just joined us, Commissioner James Thomas, District 4 in Cummins in the studios with us again. So the millage has been raised 5 mils. People are going to get their bills soon. Still, where do we go from here? I mean, what else can the commissioners do to solve the financial situation? Like I said, Jeff stated time and time again, this is just the beginning. So
yeah,
what all
just
can be done?
Just the beginning, but we got to make some sacrifices. We got to make some cuts, and we have some of those things already in line that we want to try to do, and we're going to put them out there for the plan and let everybody vote on them. I know you've heard about furlough days. We talked about merit raises. If we cut the merit raises out, that'll be $87,897. Longevity, I know, of course, you hate to do that, but people would rather have a job than to have, than us to lay somebody off.
Are the commissioners in favor of furlough days? I haven't heard that yet.
Yes, most of us are. Whatever it's going to take to keep our county going and to cut the debt, and to the point where we don't have to lay anybody off. That's what we're in favor of. Longevity, that'll be, if we decide to do that, that'll be a little over $26,000. So we've got a lot of things. Sometime it was thrown out that we could lay off part-time employees except for E911, emergency management, jail, and the sheriff's office. But those things talked about. Hopefully, I hope we don't have to get to that. But if we do, then that's what we have to do.
I want to go back to retreat. You mentioned something, because like I said, at the last meeting, Herschel Hires, the chairman, did his best to try to say, look, we got to get together, we got to have a meeting, we got to get on the same page, this is all getting out of hand, but it all kind of fell apart towards the end of the meeting when you brought back up the retreat. Apparently there was a disagreement between Hickox and the rest of the board. You said he got mad and left. They'll explain that story, because he says he got mad, but he came back. He said he only got mad because they presented a list of paving projects, and it didn't have any projects listed in your district and his district, which is the city part of the
we have been working. We have a list of paving projects that we have systematically gone down a list on researching those roads for so many years, because put them on the list, and as we get money, we take them off. It takes time to do that. We had just finished that list, and that list had been, those things been on there for maybe 10, 15 years. Once we finished that list, that was the end of that list for his district and mine. And the reason we finished that list and that there was no roads on there, because we spent a lot of money in our districts, his district and mine. I spent over 100,000, so did he. So it was at the point where there was no roads on the list, so what we had to do then is get together and regenerate a new list. That was all it is. It wasn't that I wasn't going to get any money, he wasn't getting any money. And because of the shortage of the money or the splash coming in, we didn't think we'd get that kind of money anymore, because we had been getting, the three commissioners got the largest district, we get it 1.5 million. We got, in the city, we got 1.5 million together, and we split that 750. And so we had spent a considerable amount of money resurfacing our streets in the city. And so we had depleted the list, just had to generate another one. And so, it is what it is.
Do you think the commission can come back? You've stated many times that you felt this is the best board you've been ever on, but now there seems to be all this disharmony. How do you get the harmony back? And do you see where Mr. Hickox is coming from? Because the story he tells, and the story I pretty much told, I said he laid out the plan. He laid it out at a meeting. You were absent at that meeting. You said he took it to the paper, which he didn't take to the paper. He just laid it out at the public meeting. And then after that meeting, the story goes, and you can confirm it or deny it, but Ed went and met with you for several hours, met with Shag for several hours, met with Mike Roberts for several hours, met with all the commissioners with the exception of Hickox, and said that 180 plan, that's not going to work. That's not true.
That's not true.
So then when Hickox says that...
I'm not going to get into the bricking back and forth, because as 5 board members, majority of us get along real fine, and everybody can see that. We're not against anybody, so Mr. Hickok presented his plan. I won't say anything about him. Anything I have to say to Mr. Hickok or whoever, I said it in a public meeting. I'm always going to be above board. If I'm going to say something about somebody or to somebody, I want that person to be here so they can either confirm or deny. So I did that in the meeting, and so I'm not going to say anything about Mr. Hickok now. He's doing what he feels is right. He's presented one plan, 2 plans, whatever.
What do you think about his plan?
None of those plans, I've seen them. I mean...
You haven't seen his one?
No, he hadn't got with us to, let's have our input in those plans. That's his plans.
He gave a plan to everybody there at the meeting. I've got a copy of the plan. I got it on my desk.
Giving me a plan is nothing, but let's sit down and go through it, and let's see what we can put in there and what we take out or what's good. That's fine.
And that's what he asked for, but that hasn't happened.
I'm not, hey.
That's where all the disharmony comes from.
I know. It's 5 of us.
I understand that. That's why I'm saying, but I keep asking, when is that meeting going to take place?
As soon as we can all get together, as soon as our chairman calls it.
Well, now you got writing candidates running against you. How do you think that's going to play out? Something I haven't seen. You've been here a long time, too. You've never seen writing candidates, have you?
The writing candidates, I mean, they have a right to write in. I think the people in my district, if they wanted, if I hadn't been serving them as they thought I should, I think they would have put a candidate out there in the primary. I think people have been recruited to write in, but that's fine. I'm going to do what I got to do. I've served my district well with dignity and pride, and I've educated myself with ACCG to better serve and better represent Wayne County. And I do have a rapport with people across the state. ACCG, the team is coming down. They're going to come down and do a good job. We're excited about what their recommendation is going to be. I know them. Somebody made a statement, I think, on Facebook that I talk like I know them forever and ever, and amen. No, I don't, but I do know some of them for the last 15 or 20 years. And that is good because I know they're good people, and I know they will give us good advice.
But I don't have Facebook, but, comments been made at the county commission meeting. Some of the comments on Facebook are just off the wall.
I don't.
You want to address any of that?
I don't address any of that because, like I said, some of them I call them Facebook bullies, but I don't address that. I'm gonna do my job and represent Wayne County and my district the best I can, and I always research any issue and make an informed decision on that. And people, I represent my district down through the years. They've seen me do that consistently, and I've always done that. And I will continue to do that.
The vote to cap the budget at $20 million, that was a 3-2 vote against. You voted against it. Explain why you voted against not to cap the budget.
I don't think that we need to cap anything. I think if you're going to invite the experts in here to look at your books and give you some advice, I don't want to hinder them coming in. So I want to wait until they give us what they found, and then we'd act on that. I don't want to have to go back and change anything. So here again, that's something that one person wanted.
What if they come in and say you didn't have to raise the millage 5 mils? It's already been done. What are you going to do then?
Well, if they say we want to raise the millage 5 mils, we've already done that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But what if they say didn't have to do that?
Do what now?
I said, what if they come in, the experts come in and look at the book and say you didn't have to raise the millage 5 mils?
If they can find money and tell us how we can't do that, then we're going to go with their recommendations.
But like I said, that's already been voted in.
Right.
So can't turn that back, right?
Not this year.
Those bills are coming out.
Yeah.
Talk about this. Another discussion that came up. It constantly goes in cycles. There's a good relationship between the county and city. Bad relationship. Apparently, there's some bad blood now. Herschel mentioned they need to get back on the same page with the city. Where do we stand with the county and city governments?
We're still doing things together. We've already combined some things. We've already consolidated some things. As far as I know, we're okay. I mean, sure, you got different personalities, but for the good of the community, like I said, that penny comes out the same pocket, and we can't split it up because it rolls better when it's round. And we've been trying to do that. We've been trying to do things together to save our people money. So.
There's just one more question. I'm sure there's people asking it, but the final question I got. They had a meeting before. Remember the meeting at the airport when all the government officials were there to discuss who was going first, the county splosh or the Board of Education, the splosh. There's a sentiment out there that the agreement was just the handshake. The county went totally against the agreement with the Board of Education, that they wouldn't do anything to harm these splosh.
No.
Your thoughts on that?
We're never going to do anything to harm the Board of Education. We work great with them, and they work with us. That's not, we've got to change the culture of how we address things in Wayne County. As you see that we've lost businesses, industry, dealerships, Kmart, whatever. The only thing we have now is that we're going to have to rely, and I think they're doing a great job, is industrial authority. We got to be able to get industry in here, create new jobs, because we got to figure out a creative way to generate new jobs. And as a result of that, you take right now with the IDA, Health Pet has invested about $10 million and 15 new employees. Tape It, which is the old
Durham Med building.
Right. They they've invested about $1 million in that and 40 new employees. So they're coming along, and you know, all these jobs are not minimum wage. But then we need those as well. And also they approved the new gas line in February of this year. The Georgia Public Service Commission invested $4.6 million in our Gardai Industrial Authority plant. So we're trying to get our infrastructure ready. That's going to trigger in the future about 50 jobs. So we're trying to get our infrastructure ready so that we can get industry in here. And because, well, Bob, you've been here a long time. You've heard me time and time again say that people think there's a big room in Atlanta with money in it. Well, guess what? It ran out. They're not giving, they're taking.
Everybody wants their money.
Sure. Everybody wants their money. But no, I think that despite of the things we're going through now with the increase in millage, as I say, as a board, we get along well. I do think that this is a good board. I'm always open for people's opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, because they keep me sharp. I don't want to be complacent. So these challenges are helpful. They keep you sharp, and they keep you humble, and you know, they keep me on focus. I'm focusing on what I need to do.
All right. Get my mic back on. We got several text messages in. We're just going to do some of them very quickly right here. There's been a lot of people upset about the money y'all spent on the retreat on Jekyll. Was that a smart thing to do?
Yes. I mean, it was not a whole lot of money, but we didn't know what to expect. And being there, we were there. We had a day and a half of concentration, no interruptions, where we could be interrupted by anybody or whatever. We were given a lot of information, a lot to digest, and we came back home.
Okay. Another one that came in says, this is text messages that has come into us here at the radio station. These are text messages from our listeners. Why can't we cut somewhere else rather than furlough county employees? Seems like asking for them to get a pay cut and pay extra taxes, double whammy, sad.
Well, I'm not, you know, that's one of the things that we got to put out there. Hopefully, and I said, hopefully we won't get there. But the people who are saying that we're spending money, those are the ones who are asking that. Well, you all are not showing that you're contributing to the factor. So those are things that we have on the list that has been suggested.
Okay. Do you think there's a savings in the health insurance?
Yes.
Okay. And do y'all have plans to look at other options? Or
we have plans. I was asked by our county administrator to contact ACCG Ben Pellerelli, who's over insurance for ACCG, and we cover 149 or 50 state counties. So he's going to come down and give us some information and look at things, that proposals to give it to us, and sort of give us an idea on what's good for us and what can save us money.
Okay, someone wants to know, wasn't Ralph Hickok's spending cap contingent on an ACCGA investigation?
Do what now?
Wasn't Ralph's spending cap of $20 billion based on or contingent on ACCG's investigation?
That's what he said, yes.
Okay. There's so many on here that some of them are just comments, other ones are let's see here. Oh, they're just coming in so fast. Somebody wants to know is, how do you give 3% raise across the board when you're $7.4 million in debt? Somebody wants to know that.
Well, that's one of the things that's in here that we're going to put into plan, is that, as I said, that's part of the suggestions, is that we don't do merit raises or longevity raises.
Okay, somebody wants to know, what is Ed's plan and why hasn't it been put out from the public?
Well, I guess we've been so busy trying to explain everything. Ed has a plan, and we went over it over there, and it will take a long time to go over that plan.
Okay, but there is one there.
There is a plan, and it's public. You can get it from the office. Anybody can go in and ask for it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of other questions or comments on here. You covered a lot of them in y'all's back and forth talk here, and we're already 3 minutes over. If anybody has any questions or comments for Commissioner James Boot Thomas, how do they get a hold of you, Commissioner?
My number is on the web. Everybody has my number, my cell number, and everything.
You can just call the county office, go to the website, anything like that, and you can get a hold of James Boot Thomas. So folks who called in or text in questions or comments, you can get with Boot Thomas himself and ask him or make those comments to him. I know that you're open to hear him. As you said, you want to hear all sides of a particular issue.
I've been going out in the community. I've been talking to different people in my district and everywhere, and so yeah, people are concerned. But then too, with the way things are and the kind of digest have been dropping and we've lost, I think we did the best thing to get it done in a shorter period of time.
Okay. Bob, any other questions or comments?
Like I said, appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I'm sure you'll have you in before now in the election. Like I said, the election is not till November, so I'm sure we'll get you in between now and then as well.
Yes.
So
I'll be glad to come in. Thank you so much.
All right. Sorry, folks, we couldn't get all of the text just to come piling in there. I must have about 20, 25 of them. I just can't get to all of them. But if you have any questions or comments for James Boot Thomas, you can always get a hold of him personally. And then, of course, he'll be back on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show closer to the election time. We do appreciate him coming in. And, Bob, that pretty well takes care of all of them except for Shag, right?
I said we've had Ralph, we've had Herschel, yeah, we're trying to get Shag.
Mike in, too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll finish up the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear and by Murphy Builder Supply, located in Northeast.